Mr. Secretary, please read.
Senate Bill 450 by Senator Allen, an act relating to elections.
Senator Allen.
Madam President, current law requires county election officials to include an application for a vote by mail ballot to be included with every sample ballot provided to voters. This bill would merely require those VBM applications to also include a space for the voter to apply for permanent vote by mail status. Many counties are already doing this, and it's a wise practice. The application included with a sample ballot is the only one that each and every registered voter is sure to receive. So it's simple, it's inexpensive, it has no opposition. I respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Any debate or discussion? Senator Stone.
Madam President, I rise in support of SB 450 and commend my colleague from Los Angeles in bringing this forward. This is going to reduce costs for county governments that spend millions of dollars on elections, and also will have the benefit of hopefully increasing participation in our elections, which was deplorably low in the last election. So I applaud my colleague from Los Angeles in bringing this forward. I urge an aye vote.
Thank you, Senator. Any further debate or discussion? Seeing and hearing none, is there any objection to substituting a unanimous roll call? Seeing and hearing none, ayes 36, no 0. That measure passes. File item 27, Senator Mendoza. Mr. Secretary, please read.
Senate Bill 505 by Senator Mendoza, an act relating to elections.
Senator Mendoza.
Thank you, Madam President. Members, I'm here to present SB 505, which provides the Secretary of State with the authority to inform voters using plain language text to describe the voter Bill of Rights. Under current law, the Secretary of State is required to print verbatim statutory language, which must be printed in full for all voter information guides and posted at all polling places. Even though the statute was written with voters in mind, the provisions are still worded in complicated legislative language and that inadvertently presents unnecessary challenges to voters who are trying to understand the law that affects them. Voters deserve clear communications during elections so they know how they can receive help with polling place information. This bill allows the Secretary of State to use plain language techniques and will help ensure voters are better informed about their key electoral rights. This bill has no opposition. I respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Thank you. Any debate or discussion on the item? Senator Bates.
Thank you, Madam President. Members, I rise in opposition to this bill because it proposes to give the executive branch the power to rewrite statute. And let me provide you with a historical footnote of 2003 when I was a member of the Assembly. The predecessor to this legislation was AB 177 by former Assembly member and the late Senator Jenny Oropeza. It established the Voter Bill of Rights. It passed in 2003 with bipartisan support and was placed into statute. It defined a valid registered voter as a United States citizen who is a resident of this state, at least 18 years of age, not in prison or on parole for the conviction of a felony, who is registered to vote at his or her current residence address. This language is included on all posters and in the ballot pamphlet for the last several years. Pretty concise and clear, and through the hard work of Assemblymember Oropeza to develop this language, the Voters' Bill of Rights received unanimous Republican support. I believe if the Secretary of State believes the current language in the Voter Bill of Rights is difficult to understand, proposals for change should be brought to the legislature, the only branch of government whose role is to make laws. Members, I ask you, don't give up our legislative authority. Don't undo that bipartisan agreement. Recognize the hard work that was done in 2003 and prevails to this day. I ask that you oppose Senate Bill 505.
Any further debate or discussion on this item? Seeing and hearing none, Senator Mendoza, you may close.
Thank you, Madam President. Members, again, we're not changing or taking away the Bill of Rights, the Voter Bill of Rights. All we're doing is we're giving the authority for the Secretary of State to continue providing the Bill of Rights as required under law, but with text that conveys all of the rights in plain language to ensure voter awareness. I respectfully ask for your aye vote.
All debate having ceased, Mr. Secretary, please call the roll.
Allen. Aye. Anderson. No. Bates. No. Bell. Aye. Berryhill. Block. Aye. Canella. No. De Leon. Aye. Fuller. No. Gaines. No. Galgiani. Aye. Hall. Hancock. Aye. Hernandez. Aye. Hertzberg. Aye. Hill. Hueso. Hill. Aye. Hueso. Aye. Huff. Jackson.
Aye.
I, Lada. I, Leno. I, Leyva. I, Liu. I, McGuire. I, Mendoza. I, Mitchell. I, Monning. I, Morlock. I, Morrell. No, Wynn. No, Nielsen. Pan. I, Pavley. I, Roth. I, Runner. No, Stone. No, Vidak. No, Wykowski. I, Wolk. Wolk, aye.
Please call the absent members.
Berryhill. Hall. I, Huff. Nielsen.
Ayes 26, noes 10. That measure passes. Senator Bates, for what purpose?
Privilege of the floor.
Without
Introduction,
objection.
very quickly. I'd like to welcome St. Anne's fourth grade class from Laguna Niguel to Sacramento. They're here in the balcony. Welcome.
Welcome to Senator Bates' guests. Glad to have you here. Thank you, Senator Bates. Moving on to file item 28, Senator Pan, do you wish to take up pass on file? File item 29, pass on file. File item 30, Senator Wykowski, pass on file. File item 31, Senator Mitchell, pass on file. File item 32, Senator Hernandez. Mr. Secretary, please read.
Senate Bill 719 by Senator Hernandez, an act relating to transportation.
Senator Hernandez.
Thank you, Madam President. Members, this bill would allow for a limited pilot program for what's known as truck platooning. This bill is for a specific pilot project which will sunset January 1st of 2018. With this bill, the results of the partnership between Caltrans, UC Berkeley, Southern California regional governments, private truck manufacturers, and others. The partnership received a federal grant to demonstrate partially automated trucks to closely spaced orientations, also known as platooning. This grant funds for an exploratory advanced research project designed to explore 3 potential benefits of trucking. And with that, I respectfully ask for an aye vote.
Thank you, Senator. Any debate or discussion on this item? Any debate or discussion? Seeing and hearing none, is there any objection to substituting a unanimous roll call? Seeing and hearing none, ayes 35, no 0. That measure is adopted. File item 33, Senator De Leon, not at his desk. File item 34, Senator Hancock. Do you wish to proceed on this item? Mr. Secretary, please read.
Senate Bill 188 by Senator Hancock, an act relating to utility charges.
Senator Hancock.
Thank you very much, Madam President. SB 188 eliminates the current sunset date and allows the East Bay Municipal Utility District continued authority to collect delinquent charges for water and wastewater services through liens and county property tax rolls. The authority was established in 2010 and was modeled after the authority that many cities, counties, county water districts, and public utility districts already have. SB 188 does not alter in any way the current provisions that protect property owners from being held accountable for tenant debt. What it does do is allow EMMA to keep the water on when tenants have paid their rent, paid their water bills to the landlord, but the landlord has failed to pay the water bill. SB 188 has no state costs and will enable this effective and important program to continue. I would respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Thank you. Any debate or discussion on this item? Any debate or discussion? Seeing and hearing none, Mr. Secretary, please call the roll.
Allen. Aye. Anderson. No. No. Bates. Aye. Bell. Aye. Berryhill. Block. Aye. Canella. Aye. De Leon. Fuller. Aye. Gaines. Aye. Galgiani. Aye. Hall. Aye. Hancock. Aye. Hernandez. Aye. Hertzberg. Aye. Hill. Aye. Weso. Aye. Huff. Jackson.
Aye.
Aye. Lada. Aye. Leno. Aye. Leyva. Aye. Liu. Aye. McGuire. Aye. Mendoza. Aye. Mitchell. Aye. Monning. Aye. Morlock. Morrell. Wynn. Aye. Nielsen. Pan. Aye. Pavley. Aye. Roth. Runner. I. Stone. I. Vidak. No. Wykowski. I. Wolk. Wolk, aye.
Please call the absent members.
Berryhill. De Leon. Huff. Morlock. Morrell. No. Nilsson. Roth. No.
Ayes 30, noes 4. That measure carries. File item 35, Senator Fuller. Senator Fuller. File item 35. Do you wish to take that up? All right, Mr. Secretary, please read.
Senate Concurrent Resolution 47 by Senator Fuller relative to National Military Appreciation Month.
Senator Fuller.
Good morning, Madam President and members. I rise to present SCR 47 declaring May National Military Appreciation Month. Last week, we celebrated the 70th anniversary of the end of the World War II, and today I would like to show humble appreciation for our nation's military. Congress first designated May as National Military Appreciation Month in 1999 to show public appreciation for the sacrifices and successes made by our service members, past and present. We celebrate these brave men and women in May because May has the most dedicated days celebrating our military of any month, including Memorial Day. California alone is home to more than 360,000 military personnel, including active duty and reserve Army, Navy, Marine, Air Force, Coast Guard, and National Guard. I am proud my district is home to the military bases, including Edwards Air Force Base, Fort Irwin Army Base, Marine Corps Logistics Base, Barstow, Marine Corps Air Ground Combat Center, 29 Palms, Naval Air Weapons Stations, China Lake, and Marine Corps Mountain Warfare Training Center, Bridgeport. I am also honored to meet with my colleagues on the Governor's Military Council later today to discuss how military, civic, and state leaders are developing a strategy to continue to honor, support, and grow military operations in California. Please join me in showing great appreciation to all of our military personnel and families. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Fuller. Any debate or discussion on this item? Seeing and hearing none, is there any objection to substituting a unanimous roll call? Seeing and hearing none, ayes 35, no 0. The resolution is adopted. File item 36, Senator Anderson. Pass on file. File item 37, Senator Hancock. Mr. Secretary, please read.
Senate Bill 371 by Senator Hancock, an act relating to local government.
Senator Hancock.
Thank you, Madam President and members. SB 371 is cleanup legislation for a bill that was passed in 2011, which allows K-12 districts and community college districts to have options when drafting local parcel tax measures. The original legislation allows them to exempt certain classes of property owners, seniors over 65, homeowners receiving supplemental Social Security, SSI, and homeowners who are disabled and receiving SSI. So it's known as SSDI. The language in the current statute led to 2 school districts in Santa Clara being told they had to exempt all of those categories or none. That was not the intent of the original legislation, and this bill makes clear that they can exempt all, none, or any one of the exemptions. It's about local control, and I would respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Thank you, Senator Hancock. Any debate or discussion on this item? Any debate or discussion? Seeing and hearing none, Mr. Secretary, please call the roll.
Allen. Anderson. Bates. Bell. I. Berryhill. Block. I. Cannella. I. De Leon. Fuller. I. Gaines. Galgioni. I. Hall. I. Hancock. I. Hernandez. I. Hertzberg. I. Hill. I. Wesso. Huff. Wesso, I. Jackson.
Aye.
I. Lada. I. Leno. I. Leva. I. Liu. I. McGuire. I. Mendoza. I. Mitchell. I. Monning. I. Morlock, Morrell, Nguyen, Nilsson, Pan, I. Pavley, I. Roth, Runner, I. Stone, I. Vidak, I. Wykowski, I. Wolk. Wolk, aye.
Please call the absent members.
Anderson, no. Allen, I. Bates, Berryhill, De Leon, Gaines, Huff, Morlock, Morrell, no. Nguyen, I.
Senator Nguyen.
I. Nilsson, Roth, no.
Ayes 29, noes 3. That measure carries. Moving on to file item 38, Senator Hernandez, pass on file. Senator Cannella, not at his desk. File item 39, file item 40, Senator Stone. Senator Stone, do you wish to take that up? All right, Mr. Secretary, please read file item 40, colleagues.
Senate Concurrent Resolution 35 by Senator Stone relative to anti-Semitism.
Senator Stone.
Madam President, members of the Senate, SCR 35 seeks to condemn the rise of anti-Semitism that has been seen across the state, not to mention around the world. Within the past couple of months, we've seen a home in Sacramento proudly displaying a Nazi swastika on top of an American flag. In our state, we've seen displays of swastikas and acts of anti-Semitism on our campuses. Across the world, there has been an increase in threats against Jewish people. Just last year in April, the United States Department of State released the International Religious Freedoms Report, recognizing that anti-Semitisms continue to be an internationally prevalent problem. SCR 35 is an opportunity for California to be on record and state its absolute opposition to the hateful images that have popped up throughout our state. This resolution also urges the UC system to adopt its own resolution, condemning all forms of anti-Semitism and racism, including Islamophobia. This resolution also makes it clear that it does not infringe on the constitutional rights of free speech. It's imperative that this legislature continue its strong tradition of standing up against hatred and ignorance. SCR 35 does just that. It passed out of the Senate Education Committee with no votes. I respectfully ask for your aye vote on this very important measure. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you, Senator Stone. Is there any debate or discussion on this item? Any debate or discussion? Seeing and hearing none, is there any objection to substituting a unanimous roll call? Seeing and hearing none, ayes 35, no 0. That resolution is adopted. We are now, colleagues, going to move to file item 82. This will be the last item we take up today. This is file item 82. Senator De Leon, Mr. Secretary, please read.
Senate Resolution 24 by Senator De Leon relative to the standing rules of the Senate for the 2015-16 regular session.
Senator De Leon.
Thank you, Madam President. Colleagues, I rise for your support for Senate Resolution number 24, which simply specifies that a bill that is assigned or requires a study that shall be referred to the Committee on Rules. This proposed Senate rule was formerly a joint rule between the Senate as well as the Assembly, but was deleted from the joint rules and discussions with the Assembly. However, after discussions with our Republican colleagues, we had agreed that we will include this rule pursuant to Senate Rule, the approval of Senate Rule 24 for this legislative body. So with that, Madam President, as well as colleagues, I respectfully ask for an aye vote.
Is there any debate or discussion? Seeing and hearing none, is there any objection to substituting a unanimous roll call? Seeing and hearing none, ayes 35, no 0. That measure is adopted. Excuse me, the resolution is adopted. We are now going to go to motions, return to motions and resolutions. Colleagues, this is the time to address and adjourn in memory. Motions to adjourn in memory. Senator Runner. Oh, I'm sorry.
I have a resolution to do.
We are going to close down
Madam
at this
President.
point.
Okay.
If we could wait, we'll do them on Monday, if
All right,
you
thank you.
don't mind. All right, so under this is time to adjourn. If you have an adjourn in memory, this is the time to bring it forward. Senator Galgiani.
Thank you, Madam President and members. Today, I rise to adjourn in the memory of Melissa Ann Galvin Dobson, who passed away far too soon at the young age of 34. Melissa was a Stockton native. She graduated from Lincoln High School and attended University of the Pacific. She started a 14-year career with the 49ers as a Gold Rush cheerleader at the age of 18 and was very proud that she never missed a game in her 14-year career. Her passion for dance and love for teaching led to opening her own studio, Dance Extreme, in Stockton. She was a teacher, mentor, and role model to many young dancers. She touched many lives and accomplished so much in her short 34 years. Melissa battled breast cancer, first diagnosed in 2011 and again in July of 2014. Yet through it all, her smile was contagious, her battle courageous, and her passion for life kept her dancing. She's survived by her husband, Patrick Dobson, children Brady, 8, and Stella, 4, her father, Tom Galvin, and her sister, Leanne Galvin Thompson. Joining us in the back of the chambers in her honor is her family with us today. Please join me in adjourning in her memory.
Thank you, Senator, and our heartfelt condolences to her family and to her loved ones. Any other adjourn in the memory? Thank you. Any other adjourn in the memory? Seeing none, this is the time for announcements. Are there any announcements? Senator Allen?
I just wanted to, we had a major tragedy that took place on the East Coast a couple of days ago, and I think we ought to adjourn in memory also of the folks who died on that train crash. It was a tragedy. It was terrible. There's a lot of difficult conversations about railroad safety that I think we all need to be looking very carefully at to make sure this kind of thing never happens again. And it was so sad to see that, and I just wanted to take a moment to mention those poor people.
Thank you, Senator, and that segues perfectly into the fact that the joint informational hearing by the Senate Select Committee on Passenger Rail and the Assembly Select Committee on Rail will convene in room 4202 at 11:15. And with that, if there is no other business, Senator De Leon? One moment. Senator Nielsen, we are at the end of session, and it's my understanding you wish to adjourn in the memory. Please
Thank you,
proceed.
Madam President, and ladies and gentlemen of the Senate. It is with a heavy heart that I acknowledge a very tragic incident that's affected an awful lot of people. A little over a week ago, a wrong-way driver on Interstate 505 came across the lane, crashed into a car driven by a young mother and her 2 daughters. They were from Yolo County, and their family are like our own family. Some of our kids grew up together. Sofia Ramirez, Elisa Marie Santiago, and Brenda Isabel Santiago were killed in that tragic accident. They are of the 14 just in this area here in the last couple of weeks that have so been killed. Elisa and Brenda attended school at Pierce High School in Arbuckle, Colusa County. They were athletes. They were involved in FFA, community fundraising, being good community citizens at a very young age. They were in the Latino Riders. Elisa was the queen of Los Almendaros, and Brenda was a competitor in the rodeo. They lived by example. This family does. And the greatest testimony is the 700 people who attended the service celebrating their lives. That doesn't happen with individuals who didn't have many concentric circles emanate from that rock in the water that they were, that still pond and all those ripples that they left. And we will remember them. Sophia is survived by her husband, Joaquin Sanchez, and parents Ruben, Leata Ramirez, brothers Ruben, Hector, and Oscar. And Elisa and Brenda are survived also by their father, Porfino Santiago. Ladies and gentlemen of the Senate, this is one of the special indulgences that we allow the people that we represent to acknowledge them and adjourn in their memory. And particularly so in an instant like this. May we, in honor of these, Sophia, Elisa, and Brenda, may we today resolve to be a little bit more careful and to caution others to be careful as well. I request we adjourn in their honor, and thank you for the time.
Thank you, Senator Nielsen. Again, our condolences to the family. These are losses that just shouldn't be. So thank you very much. Before we adjourn, it's my understanding that we do have, this is National Lung Week, and
Madam President, before we do adjourn, I just want to add on to this adjournment
Please,
in memory
Senator.
of the great senator. I also want to add on just very quickly, as the senator just mentioned, obviously Sofia Ramirez, very young age, 38 years. Alisa Santiago, 17, and Brenda Santiago, 15. These three individuals were also cousins of an individual from our family here in the Senate. You may know her. Her name is Veronica Rodriguez. She is in the press bay, and she works for the Democratic caucus of the Senate. All three of these women, the mother and two daughters, are cousins of Veronica Rodriguez. Veronica just got married last week, and they were all three in attendance at her wedding. Obviously, Veronica's not here with us today, but you'll see her, so sometimes she'll pull you into the press bay to do an interview on the Democratic caucus. I know my Republican friends and colleagues have crossed paths with her as well. Very congenial, very nice, as was mentioned, very beautifully. Such a tragic incident that has taken out a family. With us today are family members of Sophia, Alyssa, and Brenda, which are up here in the far right, colleagues up in the gallery, who've taken time during this very, very difficult period to come and witness this adjournment in memory of these three beautiful, vibrant women and young women. So with that, I just wanted to add also to the very beautiful adjournment in memory of my great colleague.
thank you, Senator De Leon, and our heartfelt condolences from all of us here in the Senate. With that, Senator Runner, file item 84. Mr. Secretary, please read.
Senate Resolution 26 by Senator Runner, relative to Women's Lung Health Week.
Senator Runner.
Okay, thank you, Madam Speaker and members. I rise to present and establish the second full week of May every year as Women's Lung Health Week. This resolution is sponsored by the American Lung Association and Lung Force, which is a women's lung organization. As you all know, encouraging lung health is very important for me personally. Today I rise as a representative of women in California who have faced serious challenges related to lung disease. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, lung cancer is the #1 killer cancer among women in the United States. While lung cancer is the biggest threat, lung cancer is not the only lung-related health challenge we face. I believe it is altogether fitting for this body to lead the state of California in raising awareness and encouraging scientific advancement in medical treatment. I ask for your aye vote.
Thank you, Senator Runner. Any debate or discussion? Seeing none, any objection to considering this measure by acclamation? All those in favor say aye. Opposed? By acclamation, that resolution is adopted. Thank you, Senator Runner.
Madam President, I have one more that deals with teachers. It'll be short.
Without objection.
Thank you, Madam
Item
President.
83. Item 83, colleagues. Please, Mr. Secretary, please read.
Senate Resolution 25 by Senator Runner, relative to the California Day of the Teacher.
Senator Runner.
All right, thank you. This would establish May 13th as Day of the Teacher, which has already passed. We cannot overstate how important teachers are in our culture. From day to day, teachers play a critical role in the lives of our children. Some become the only positive role model in their lives. Every child is born with great promise. Teachers have a unique role in helping to unlock each child's potential. You can all remember your favorite teacher and who played an important role in helping you succeed in life. Let's recognize, appreciate, and remember the teachers of California who sacrifice so much of themselves as they invest in our children and youth. While this resolution is only a symbol of recognition, we cannot exhaust our thanks to the teachers who serve tirelessly every day to teach our children. I'd ask for an aye vote.
Thank you, Senator Runner. Any debate or discussion? Any objection to acclamation for this measure? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? By acclamation, that resolution is adopted. Senator, it appears there is no other business on the floor. Senator De Leon, the desk is clear.
Thank you very much, Madam President. Colleagues, I hope you have a wonderful and very productive next few days. Have a great weekend with loved ones. Looking forward to seeing you all. Monday, we will reconvene 2 o'clock Monday. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Senator. The Senate will be in recess until 3:30 p.m., at which time the adjournment motion will be made, and we will reconvene on Monday at 2 p.m.